So here it is, a new King Kong movie. I mean, did anybody really ask for this?
No!
Especially considering the last one we got was that Peter Jackson one with Jack Black in it.
No!
No, it's true, he was in that movie. And worst of all, Brie Larson's follow-up to her Oscar award-winning role is Skull Island. I mean, she should have just said,
No!
Thank you, Caesar, for your help, your awesome movies, and your salad. Now, before anybody who really loved Kong Skull Island gets offended, just remember, I'm not finished my review yet. I am not saying stay away from theaters and don't see it. In fact, by the end of this review, I might tell you to go! Let's establish something, shall we? In the world of cinema, often you have to take the bad with the good. And when there is a little bit of good, there's usually a lot of the bad. What I mean by that is when something is successful in Hollywood, often there are copycats, and usually those copycats are subpar versions of the original. For instance, Marvel, over the last decade, has built its own mint-to-print currency, or as they call it, a cinematic universe. A very successful one. And because of that model, Universal is bringing back their classic movie monster universe. Warner Brothers and Legendary is bringing their kaiju monster universe, and, worst of all, the DC cinematic universe. Thanks, Marvel. So if the movies are good within the cinematic universe, it's fantastic. You get more good, just like with Marvel. But if they're bad, as a film fan, you're almost stuck. It's like being in a dead-end relationship that you just can't escape. And if they're bad, well, it's hell. I mean, you just keep paying and paying for terrible movies until you're screaming, Lisa, I don't love you! I mean, King Kong. And Kong Skull Island was like that for me. Yeah, it was good. It was okay. It was fun. But I really didn't want to spend any more money on this. And unfortunately, they dragged me back in with the promise of building this universe. The promise of more giant monsters fighting one another. And here's the real cause and effect at the center of Kong. The studio knew damn well that tons of people would go see this movie and that suckers like me exist out there. They have the proverbial claws in me. And they've already got my money for every sequel that they're now going to produce. So they really don't need to make the best movie possible. The catch is, do they really need to make the best movie possible? If you think about the source material, the original Japanese films, they're just brainless fun. So really, if it's an homage to that brainless fun, here comes some new brainless fun in the 21st century. However, I could have done with a slightly different type of brainless. Young director and Joaquin Phoenix stunt double, Jordan Voight Roberts, got his first taste of big Hollywood money in this production. And with all that money, he brought us a film that is the love child of Michael Bay and Zack Snyder. That's a shared universe of which I don't want to be a part. There's one scene where our group of monster fodder heroes are cornered by a flock of strange bird creatures, and in all the confusion, a canister of neon green toxic gas is released into the atmosphere. And so, Tom Hiddleston's heroic Captain Conrad throws on a gas mask, grabs a samurai sword, and starts slicing through the bird creatures and the gas. Then I thought, yeah, I know, thinking that probably wasn't something the filmmakers were counting on, but the gas did nothing. Almost literally nothing. In fact, all the other heroes who didn't have masks didn't choke, didn't die, didn't even cough. The birds weren't even affected by it. So what in the toxic green hell purpose did this gas serve? I'll tell you what, it looked cool. That's it. No other purpose. In fact, I even questioned whether or not the writer had put it in the script or it was just something that Voight Roberts thought looked cool. But that's really the nature of this type of film. And when they try to be more, when they try to be more than just visual eye candy there for a good time, then it becomes Godzilla, which a lot of people told me they hate. The sad thing is that means that Kong's surprisingly talented cast is wasted. Hey, even great actors need a paycheck once in a while. Even Goodman and Jackson can be meaningless. Even Academy Award winning Larson can be reduced to shooting a lizard monster in the eye with a flare gun. Hey, listen, Natalie Portman followed up her Oscar win with Your Highness. But John C. Reilly followed up his Academy Award nomination with Gangs of New York. So I'm gonna go out on a really Kong-sized limb here and say, maybe he knows how to pick his projects better than the other two actors I mentioned. And I say that simply because he was a perfect fit for Kong Skull Island. I say that not as an insult to Reilly, because he saved the film for me. He was the one character, the one actor who really showed what the movie was trying to do, when everybody else seemed to maybe take themselves a little too seriously. And for him to be the one character to pull me back and say, hey listen, it's okay to have a good time. His little bit of hilarity is for the win. Hey, listen. It ain't always easy to tell me to just go with the flow and have a good time. I mean, that's what Lisa was always telling me to do. All you need to do with Kong is have a good time. Yeah, believe it or not, it's fun. Stupid fun, don't get me wrong. Stupid, idiotic, brainless fun. Nice to look at, but still, now I remember why we dated. Earn it! Poll question, what is your favorite cinematic universe? As always, leave your answers in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to Real School, follow me on Twitter, and of course, if you get anything out of Real School, you can always give a little back. Just click the link and you can become a member of my Patreon team. But until next time, school's out.